Let's do this. Welcome, friends. Today's class is going to feature malasana, so some deep stretching through the inner thighs. It also helps really well with low back pain, and it can also help you gauge where you have tightness. So often, like when we sit back into a deep squat, it's tough to tell if it's tightness or like issues around our knees, or if it's hips, or if it's ankles. So we will have a couple of different options to be able to play around. What do we need for props today? I don't think we really need anything. Like maybe if you want a pillow when we do get into that deep squat, please feel free to do so. The playlist is linked. Who's just joining us? Here's a playlist for you. And then we're going to get started lying down on our backs, hitting the playlist, which today is Common Ground Grounded 14. I don't know why I put Roman numerals. Like I should know better. That's fine. Hitting play in 3, 2, 1. That was really loud. Okay. And then make your way down onto your back. Ooh. So to start, you could have your legs outstretched or your knees bent. Maybe you just want to get right into it. Bring the soles of your feet to touch, knees go wide. And choosing a shape that's going to work for you. We're halfway through the work week. So know that your body might start to notice a little bit more of those nagging sensations. So you can be a little bit gentler on yourself. I'm just going to turn down my space heater. And so if you're comfortable with it, closing your eyes, letting your gaze fall inwards. And for the next 45 minutes, you don't need my permission, but know that any work that you might be having, any upcoming meetings, any conversations, just know that you have permission to set them off to the side for now, not worry about them. And know that if your mind does start to wander, going back to them, there's no conversation that's going to be resolved in your head. And the only person that's being impacted by this is you. So what impact what impact do you want to have on yourself right now? What do you want out of this time? This quick 45 minutes. What do you need? What can you give yourself? Know that it's okay to just lie on your mat and do nothing. That can be enough for today. When you're ready, take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Make a little bit of noise as you sigh on the next one, breathing in. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Planting your feet wide on your mat. Start to windshield wiper your knees side to side. You know, I read something yesterday that said, you know how people always say, just try and relax. It's actually, studies show that you can't try and relax. It's the least that you try, the less that you try, the more you're able to relax. So if you notice that trying to happen when you're like really trying to be present and here in your body, maybe you try not so hard. I know, easier said than done. Plant your right foot, cross your left ankle over top. Maybe you want to continue that swaying motion, tipping your knees from side to side. Ooh. And then bringing them back through center. Feel free to stay here if this is enough, or maybe you want to bring your knees in towards you, interlacing your hands behind your right thigh. And again, it's hard just to like lie down and do nothing. So maybe you sway your hips. You can make circles over your low back. Unhooking your left leg, plant your left foot down, draw your right knee in towards you, and then maybe over more towards your right armpit. That left shoulder is going to want to come off the ground, so try and draw it back down, and maybe bring a little bit more of your left hip down as well. And then from here, right hand goes to the inside of your right leg, reaching for the outside of your foot. Half happy baby. Ooh. Again, maybe a little bit of a sway every time you bring that knee down a little bit closer. It's kind of like you're driving it down towards the ground. And then pushing back or easing off. Maybe you start to straighten out your left leg. Ooh. Heel back in towards you. Left hand onto the top of your knee, right hand goes down onto your shin. Find a little bit of compression through the front of your hip by drawing that knee in towards you and straight. Point your left toes down so you find an opening through the left and a compression through the right. If you breathe into your stomach, notice how more air will maybe come a little bit more towards the left side, and that's okay. Hands behind your right thigh, reach your right toes up towards the ceiling. Point and flex your foot, roll through your ankle. Ooh. You have two options here. Really push your left heel down into the ground and either point your right toes or bend your right knee so legs at 90 degrees. Hands come behind your head. Take a big breath in. Exhale, curl and round, lifting your shoulders up off the ground. And then extend your left hand to the outside of your right leg, tiny little pulsing over towards the right. Pulse, 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 pulse. So we're working through, obviously some core engagement here, but also some pelvic stability. So trying to take out the rocking sensation. Go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back through center. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your head down. Slide your left heel along the ground. Plant your foot. Cross your right ankle over top. And then again, same thing. Ooh, sway your hips a bit side to side. Bring them back through center. Again, option to interlace your hands behind your left thigh. If you are right-handed, chances are this right side's also going to be pretty tight, so be a little bit more gentle on yourself. Ooh, maybe make circles over your low back. Unhooking your right leg, plant your right foot down. Draw your left knee in towards you and then over towards your left armpit. Option to find that half happy baby here. And again, same thing, you can kind of drive your knee closer towards the ground and then back up. Settling in, maybe extend your right leg down long. Whew. Draw your knee back in, right hand to the top of your left knee. Left hand slides down towards your ankle bone, drawing your right knee in towards, sorry, that's your left knee in towards your chest. Low compression, and then really point your right toes, reach that right foot down and long. And then come back to breathing into your stomach. Releasing your grip, hands behind your thigh, point and flex, roll your ankle. Okie dokie, ready for second side? So again, option to have your foot pointed or knee at 90, reaching your foot up, hands behind your head. Exhale, curl around, C-shape, curve your spine. Push your right leg down into the ground, and then release your right hand over towards the left, tiny little pulsing up, 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 up. Use your exhale to find the engagement and lift through your lower core. Go for 8, 7, 6. Take the rocking out of the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. Good job. Draw your knees in towards you, rocking a bit side to side. Actually, no, let's play around. Let's do seal. Hands go through the inside of your legs and then grab the outer ankle bones. Point your toes and then start to rock back and forth. What? Yeah, so careful not to rock onto your neck, but you can rock up onto your shoulders. And then once you come on up, hands go underneath your legs, grab the outside of your ankles again, tap, tap, tap your feet, roll back. Wow! Bring it back, tap, 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 down, up, tap, tap, tap. One more time. And cross your ankles, plant your palms, and make your way into your tabletop position. You stretch out one leg at a time, opening through your calf. Switching. So the great thing about Malasana is it stretches your ankles, hips, and your low back, and it also challenges the mechanics of your body. So we're going to play around a bit here. We're going to notice the tightness through our calves. That's an understatement. This is probably going to hurt a little, but that's okay. You take your right leg and bring your knee into the belly of your calf. So very important for your left toes to remain untucked so that calf can be soft. Ooh. And then start to give a little massage. You're gonna find that juicy spot. Everybody's body's gonna be a little different. Ah! And then once you get there, maybe you hang out. You could turn a little bit side to side. Oh, good grief. This is your cue to maybe start to foam roll or try and stretch a little bit more through your calves. Ah. Whew. Okay, switcheroni, other side. Whoa. And if your wrists start to hurt, you could always turn your hands into fists, or you could lower down onto your forearms. Good, relax. Tuck your toes, sit onto your heels. Take your left leg and then plant your foot down. So it's kind of like you're in a relaxed, chilling out shape like this. And then we're gonna stretch through our left Achilles here by leaning your left knee really far forward and then pushing down into your left heel. So this is enough for me to stretch through the back. Some people might need to bring your right foot knee a little bit more forward to be able to find that drive and then kind of play around. Everybody's bodies can be a little different for this kind of Achilles stretch. Whew. Some people might need that right knee a little further back. And then switch sides. So the trick is to try and keep your foot as flat as you can on the ground and then allow your knee to go forward. Oh, that's the ticket. Just a few more seconds on this side. All right, plant your palms, push back your first down dog. So once you settle in, see if you can just keep your hands steady. We have a tendency of kind of like twiddling our fingers as we move into these shapes, same with our toes. So let's take out the extra movement. Push your hands down into the ground, keep them where they are. Gaze is towards your navel. Inhale, come up high on your tiptoes. Exhale, send your heels down. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. And again, notice if your toes are doing that too, where they're just kind of like dancing around. Try and keep them still here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, heels down. Hands where they are. Inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, knee in towards your chest. Plant it behind your left hand. Stay here on train tracks. So feet are about internal hip width distance apart. Reach your hands a little bit more forward onto tented fingertips. Bend deeply into your front knee, gaze goes forward. As you exhale, straighten through both legs, send your hips back. Pyramid pose. Inhale, flow here, chest comes forward, lift up. Exhale, send your hips up and back, pyramid. So keep moving with your breath here. And you can shorten your stance, you can bring it wider, your hands don't have to be at the top of your mat. Maybe you want to play around now with lifting your left toes up. Oh. Yeah, I need to walk my hands back a bit to get to the shape, but holy moly, that's nice. You're bending in, stretching back. One more time. And then planting your left toes down, turn your right foot down 45 degrees. Really set your foundation through your right leg. Bend into your left knee, keep it there, rise up, warrior one, palms touch. Squaring your chest off to the front. What I love about warrior one is it can be quite nice opening through that front hip flexor here. So settle into it, sink into it. You'll also notice right away if you're like cheating because that tailbone will want to pop, which when you're in warrior one, your chest is really lifted, so there isn't much room to find a back bend. So try and keep your chest lifted and space for your low back. Take a big breath in. Exhale, send a little bit deeper into your warrior one. Reach your hands a little bit higher. Exhale, step your right foot up to meet the left. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let yourself hang out here. Finding any variation you want with your arms. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Bring your fingertips down on the ground. Plant your left hand down, so bend deeply and generously into your knees. Right arm reaches up, maybe straighten through your right leg. Let your head be heavy, and then roll out that right wrist. Stay for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Release your right hand down. Bend deeply into your right leg. Left arm reaches up, left leg straightens. Rolling your wrist. And then look up to your left hand here. Stay for 4, 3, 2, 1. Fingertips come back down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Shift the weight into your right foot. Step your left foot back down and long. And then same thing again, finding that pyramid shift, so bending deeply into your front knee. And then sending your hips back. Both legs stay straight. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, gaze comes forward. Lift your chest. Exhale, fold over your front leg, chin to shin. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more just like this, breathing in and out. 1 more, really explore your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe walking your hands back a bit. You could play around with, turning your right toes up. Set your foundation, right toes down. Turn your left foot down 45 degrees. Bend into your right knee and then try and draw your right hip back. And rising on up. Good. Warrior 1. Once you arrive and you feel settled, perhaps closing your eyes. Challenging your balance. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. When you're ready, step your left foot up to meet the right. Ooh, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take your hands and then slide them underneath your feet. Hopefully your feet aren't too dirty, because mine are filthy. Not like you really need to know that, but hey, we're friends. And then if you can, slide so your toes are all the way up to your wrist creases. Yeah, and then bend into your knees. Take a big breath in, lift your chest forward. As you exhale, fold, bring your elbows out wide, and then try and draw your shoulders back, so you have more room for your neck. Ooh. Gaze could go up towards the ceiling, and then maybe you start to play around with straightening through your legs. Release your hands. Heel toe your feet wide apart. Sink down into your deep squat. And again, some people's deep squat might be here, and that's perfect. That's right where you need to be. Left fingertips go far over towards the mat to left side. Right arm reaches up. Switching sides. Hands down, plant your palms, lift your hips up, and then straighten your legs as much or as little as you need to keep your hands flat on the ground. So your toes are going to stay in this nice turned out way like you set your foundation in your malasana, and then bending back in, sinking down, and then straightening your legs. Opening through our hamstrings and closing. After 3 or 4 times, your legs will be on fire, and then we will stop. Cool. So yeah, one more time. And then step your right foot back down and long. You have a few options for your lizard here. So feel free to stay lifted. Your back knee is lifted, pushing your heel back, or you can lower your knee down. You can stay up on your hands or lower yourself down onto your forearms. And you can always be forearms, but knee lifted. So while you're here, to mimic that malasana, what tends to happen is this knee wants to go out wide, right? And that's fine. That's just a different shape than lizard. What we're doing here is trying to draw that knee in closer. Cool? Okay. Lift your back knee. Step your right foot up to meet the left, and then right away, switch sides. Find your lizard. The left leg stepping back. Roll your shoulders back and down. Find some room for your neck. And then just breathe. Your back knee's lowered, lift it, step your left foot up to meet the right. Bend deeply into your knees, push down through your heels, reach your right arm up, left arm up, and then use your feet to stand yourself on up. Whew. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna come into that malasana and we're gonna hang out there for a little bit. So again, you could place something under your bum. It could be a block, could be a pillow rolled up. Small children work great. They're just a little squirmy. And so here, notice while you're in your malasana, if you notice that your heels are lifted, what this could tell you is that limitation in the Achilles tendon. So that's why we were working on stretching the Achilles with our pyramid, the Achilles stretch right at the beginning. If you notice that your knees are collapsing inwards, this is really common. And what that can say is the glutes might be a little bit weak or need some work on strengthening them. Or it could also mean, I mean, it's like WebMD. You search one thing and suddenly you're going to die. It could also mean that you have tight inner thighs or tight IT bands. So still try and keep rolling your knees open. Yeah, and so from here, you have so many options. You can start to notice like, what sensations are you present to? Probably like the tops of your feet, your ankles. I feel you, me too. Yeah, maybe the front of your shins. And so I want you to notice what is discomfort and what is pain. So if there's something that's uncomfortable, maybe you can just like sit into it for a little bit longer. And this is a practice where your mind starts to wander and go elsewhere. Or you think of all the other things you can do or how many times you can look at your phone. So sit into it right now because you know this isn't going to last forever. Maybe you can sit into the discomfort. Stay for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your bum down. Oh, good job. Take whatever movement you need to find some respite in your body. Oh, my windshield wiper those knees again. Well done, my friends. One more just for the tops of our legs. Stretch your left leg out, right leg comes back behind. Your toes are turned down, and this knee can be going a little bit wide, maybe a little bit more inwards. Stretching through the front of our legs since we've done quite a bit for our back body. It's a single saddle. And so if you aren't feeling anything, try to think about squeezing your bum and lifting your hips up a little bit. That might activate your quad a bit more. Or you could stay up on your hands or lower yourself down onto your forearms if you don't have any compression through your low back. And if you're down on your forearms, back up onto your hands. Release that foot, let the blood flow back into the top. And then switcheroni. Again, options: stay up, lower yourself down. Don't worry so much if that left hip is hiking up. It's going to naturally, maybe you squeeze your glutes, lifting your hips up just a centimeter or 2. Stay and breathe. When it feels right for you, bringing yourself back on up, releasing your left leg, and your legs a little bit of a shake. Flex your feet, and then look at your toes. Notice how those pinky toes want to curl in. Try and keep pushing them back so your big toes and pinkies are in one straight line. Arms reach out like you're holding a big beach ball. C-shape, curve your spine. Look at your toes. Try and keep your feet where they are. Lower yourself down. Go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job making your way down. Take any last movement you feel called to do. And then making your way into your final portion of rest. And today, since today's a little bit of a slower practice, I want you to have a really nice, long Shavasana. So if you want, you can grab a sweater, a blanket. You could also do legs up the wall if you have the space. Oh yeah, if you have space, do legs up the wall. It's good. It's real good. Allow your body to be held and supported by the mat underneath you. Perhaps feeling a heaviness in your legs and shoulders. A softness, delicate opening through your shoulders, your chest. Relaxing your hands, every fingertip. Again, what can you offer yourself here? Maybe what's something you can tell yourself that you need to hear. And so whatever shape you find yourself in, I encourage you to stay here. Maybe you bring your palms together and you can start to rub your hands. Really pushing palm into palm, rubbing a little bit harder, maybe a little bit faster. Start to feel that heat in your hands. Noticing not only the center, but also the sides, your fingertips a little bit more. And then releasing your hands, place them over your eyes. Encircling your eyes with darkness, maybe you start to open your eyes. Noticing little slivers of light through your fingers. We slowly bring your hands wider apart. And releasing your hands down. Oh, you can take a big stretch. And then if you want, you can stay seated or bring yourself up. It's totally up to you, whatever works for you today. There's no right or wrong. And as you know, you can bring your hands in any shape that represents ending the practice. It might be hands at heart center, resting your hands on your tummy and your chest. Choosing expression that feels true to you today. So maybe it was different from Monday or from last week or from a month ago. Pausing here, taking this moment just to notice yourself here on this day, in this minute. And this is the practice of yoga, to be here now. Bowing your head in honor of this practice, of this time. Being here now. Knowing that when you raise your head, the world might seem a little bit different, or there might have been a small shift. stay here, head bowed, breathing in and out. Your eyes are closed, opening them up and bringing your gaze back up. So, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you taking the time out to move your body slowly and hopefully in a way that felt right for you. And as always, if you've any questions, need anything, holler at me. Otherwise, I'll see you very soon. Thanks, friends.